So you've been laid off, furloughed, or fired, which has nothing to do with your obligations. Bills is still coming in, due dates is rapidly approaching, your bank account is quickly being depleted, and you're feeling anxiety about this whole thing. You have the weight of this on your shoulders, and you're feeling this tension in your chest that just don't seem to go away. And what you really want to do is throw your hands up and say, screw these bills. There's nothing I can do about it. But as a person who's been on the other side of this conversation, I want to share with you 4 things that you can do, 4 things that you have to do in order to make it through this. The first thing I want you to do is grab an envelope that one of those bills came in, get you an ink pen, sit down and write down all your bills in the order of importance, starting with the most essential items, going all the way down the list. And if you're having trouble figuring out what's essential and what's not, things like food and utility bills should be at the top of the list, and things like gym memberships, cable TV, and streaming services should be at the bottom of the list. Now is a good time to cancel anything that you have that's not vital to your survival. Now, this is not going to help you for this month, but anyone who has been through what you're going through, like I have, they know that it's going to take you 2 to 3 months to get back on your feet after you get your income back. So by cutting these services out early, it's going to help you in the long run. And don't skip this step, because this list is going to be essential to every single step that we're going to go over. We're going to keep referring back to this list and keep refining it. So if you have your list and you have enough money to cover all your bills, great, pay them. You're good. Rinse and repeat, do the same thing next month. But if you don't have enough, here's what I want you to do next. The very next thing I want you to do is write your income at the top of this list, and then draw a line beneath the bill when that income runs out. And what this is your pay line. So everything above it is going to get paid. Everything below it is not going to get paid. But you're not done. We have some more things for you to do. You still have control, and we're going to do our best to get everything on this list paid. But draw this line for now. Now what I want you to do is I want you to call every single company that you do business with, starting with those that's below the line. And what you're looking for is, you're looking to explain your situation, and you're looking for any kind of payment forgiveness they have, any forbearance options they have, any options at all that can help you through this situation. You want to be open and honest with these people up front, because they want to be paid and you want to pay them. And you may very well be surprised by what options they present to you. And you would never know if you don't ask. But we're not going to stop there. We're also going to call the companies above our line. Because what you may find is some of those companies that was below your line that you don't have the money to pay, they may not have any options for you. So we also want to call the companies that we do have the money to pay, because they may have some type of forgiveness or forbearance option for you. And that's great, because now you can reorder your list. Because the goal of all of this is to pay as many people as we can. And what we're going to do next is rewrite the list. This time, you're going to include everybody who has some type of forbearance or forgiveness option, plus those that you have money for. And then when you run out of money, you're going to make a new line. And now the bills that's below the line should be getting smaller. Now, if they do provide some type of payment forgiveness or some type of forbearance, I don't want you to just blindly accept this as a sign. I want you to understand the details, because some of these options are going to be great and you're going to want to accept them. Other options might not be so hot and you may want to hold off. What I mean by that is, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you think you're good and you have 3 months of forbearance, only to find out in the 4th month payment is due, in addition to the 3 months that you missed. Because like I said earlier, once you get your income back, it's going to take a couple months before you get back to level ground, back to where you were. So the last thing you want to do is have some large payment waiting on you 3 months down the road when you're just starting to get your footing again. So be sure to understand the details of any of these forbearance programs, any payment forgiveness, anything they offer. Make sure that you understand it, and make sure that you get it in writing. Because if it ain't in writing, it didn't happen. So make sure you have your. And don't worry, we still have more options. We still have control. And the next thing I want you to do is a lot easier than the first two. And that's to smash the like button. No, seriously, hit the like button. It's not for me, it's for YouTube. The comments is for me. So if you're still with me, go ahead and comment down below, I'm still here. And let's keep moving. The third option at your disposal is to create supplemental income. You see, just because you lost your primary source of income, don't mean that you lost your earning potential. And creating supplemental income could be a great way to cover those bills that's below the line. It seems like no matter what we're going through, any company that offers a delivery service is always looking for drivers. So go out there and see what's available. Another option that you may have is to clean out your closets, clean out the garage, go through those items in those pantries and find things that you no longer need, you don't use, or you outright just don't want anymore, and post those for sale on various online markets. This could be a great way to make a couple $100, maybe even a few $1,000 just by getting rid of things that you no longer need. And you may very well make enough extra cash to fill the gap that's going to get you through this rough time and cover those bills below the line. But if you try that and it's still not enough, don't worry. Let's keep moving. The fourth thing I want you to do is turn to the closest mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say, I'm not going to be able to pay all my bills. And that's okay. Because if you've done everything that we've discussed in this video, at this point, you have a very powerful list in front of you. We're about to do things very, very strategically. All of your essential items are going to be covered, and those non-essential things are going to fall by the wayside. So you're going to have food and your utilities is going to be on, but you may very well fall behind on your credit cards or that 90-day savings cash furniture loan that you have. Those things may have to wait because right now you're in financial crisis mode. And what I don't want you to do is to do something stupid like at the beginning of the month, just take your credit cards and pay all your bills only to find out at the end of the month you don't have enough money to pay your credit card bills. Because what that does is turn a bad situation into a terrible situation. Because now, not only do you not have enough money to pay your bills, you just added all that debt. And now they're gonna charge interest, late fees, penalties, all that's gonna be added onto the situation. And at the end of the day, even though you paid it with the credit card, you're gonna have an even bigger problem next month because you got larger credit card bills and the utility bills is due again. So following the steps in this video is gonna get you through this trying time with as little damage as possible. And I know some of y'all are saying, Diamond, you crazy. I'm gonna pay my credit card bill because I am not about to have my credit score dinged by 50 or 100 points by being late. And you're right, missing a credit card payment will ding your credit score. And your credit score will go down if you're late or if you miss a payment. However, your credit score has nothing to do with your self-worth. And last time I checked, no bank, utility company, or landlord accepts a credit score as payment in full. So at this point, while you're in crisis mode, you're trying to make sure you have your essentials covered. That credit score is fluid and it's always moving. And if it get dinged today, you can work on it tomorrow and you'll bring it back. Don't make a bad situation worse by doing payday loans and borrowing from your 401k and doing all these other crazy things that I can make a full video about just to try to keep your credit score intact. I'm not saying do something to damage your credit score on purpose, but at the same time, we're going to be smart about our decisions and strategic in our moves to make sure that we get out of this with the least damage as possible. So remember that feeling that we talked about earlier? I want that feeling to go with you through each one of these steps. When you're writing out that list and when you're talking to these people on the phone, you're talking to your family and friends, explaining your situation. And when you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I've done everything I can and I'm just not going to be able to pay all my bills. I want that feeling to go with you. And it's not about shaming you because that's not it. I know you're going to get through this and your income is going to come back and the cash will start flowing back in. And it's right about that time, right when things get better, when people forget all about the feeling they had when everything hit the fan. You see, I've had my own trials and tribulations, and I can tell you that the time to prepare for a financial situation is not during a crisis. The time to prepare is weeks, months, years before, not knowing when or if that financial crisis is ever going to come. But that's the time to prepare. And by holding on to that feeling when the times get good, that's what's going to drive you to make different decisions. That's what's going to drive you to change your mindset around money. That's what's going to drive you to learn new information so that you can be prepared for the next financial crisis. And the very first thing I want you to do is to subscribe to the channel because day by day, video by video, I'll be sharing my information, my experiences, my troubles, the things I've learned. I'll be sharing it with you so that you can learn from me. And if you have a question, feel free to ask me. If I know the answer, I'll share it. If I don't know the answer, we'll go out and get the answer together and then share it with everybody else. And we'll be prepared for the next one. I'll see you again. Until then, I'm Diamond. Peace.